Hello, thank you for joining us to talk more on Monday. This podcast was started to give a voice to More's mission of making opportunities reachable for everyone and continues today as a way for us to share the mic with like-minded individuals with their own stories to share. Talking More has become our channel for history, mindsets, information you need, and featuring our interns who are learning how to share their voice. Join us on Patreon for our Masterclass with More, hosted by Bria Bradley, as she deep dives with experts on a host of topics key to building your business and legacy. You'll find your founder content hosted by our founder, Ariana, as part of our Masterclass, where business owners share lessons they've learned while in business. This month, we are diving into business and women making history. In this conversation and offline, we explore how we can serve both directly by supporting business owners and the ways that we can support more folks by being a conduit of resources. With that, let's talk more with Marcela Montero and Stephanie James. Welcome to the podcast, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm so happy for you guys to be here. It's very exciting to get to talk about women making history in the business world and otherwise. And Marcela, you've been on the podcast before, but not in our gorgeous new space, so welcome.
Thank you so much. It's beautiful.
Yeah, we're very happy to have this space to get to have face-to-face conversations. I feel like I have made great connections with people over the internet, but it's really exciting to get to actually share physical space. So we're going to talk about women in business and making history. But first, I would like to introduce you to our guests, just in case you don't already know them. So Marcela Montero is the director of the Hispanic Business Council at the Indy Chamber, and we did a Hispanic Business Council highlight in 2025. So make sure to go back and listen to that fantastic episode, those series of episodes. But she is the director of the Hispanic Business Council at the Indy Chamber, where she empowers small businesses with a focus on the Hispanic community. Under her leadership, the council has more than doubled in size, connecting Hispanic-owned businesses to growth programs, resources, and networking opportunities. Marcela launched Conexión Empresarial, the Chamber's first Spanish-language event series, and leads the broader Conexión events, including Conexión 5 for 500, celebrating the impact of the Hispanic and Latino community in Indianapolis, which Ariana was featured for, which is very exciting. She was named the recipient of the 2025 La Llave del Éxito Award by SADCO and an Impaco Award finalist by Prospanica. Marcela holds a degree in Hospitality Administration from UNLV and has completed leadership programs through the Indiana Latino Institute and the Indiana Conference for Women. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Very impressive bio.
Thank you so much. It's always great to be here and be able to share the work that we do and what inspires us.
Yeah. I love that Ariana's network has lended itself to such a powerful community of women who have these values of setting a seat at the table for others and finding out how to continue to share resources and uplift others to do the incredible work that you're already doing. So welcome.
Thank you.
Stephanie James, welcome.
Thank you.
Has dedicated over 2 decades to advancing workforce and economic development initiatives that empower marginalized communities across Indianapolis. As director of the Central Indiana Women's Business Center at the Indy Chamber, she leads efforts to help women entrepreneurs launch, grow, and scale their businesses. Super important work. Under her leadership, the CIWBC has achieved national recognition, maintaining its Women's Business Center of Excellence designation by the Association of Women's Business Centers since 2024. In 2025, they were named both the Women's Business Center of Excellence by the U.S. Small Business Administration, Indiana District Office, and the Women's Business Center of the Year by the SBA Great Lakes Division. That is huge. Stephanie holds a Master of Public Affairs and a graduate certificate in nonprofit management from Indiana University, as well as an executive education certificate in women's leadership from the Yale School of Management. Pop off. In 2018, she received the H.G. Wiseman Award for Leadership from the National Association of Workforce Development Professionals. Her career reflects a deep commitment to equity, innovation, and economic empowerment for women and underrepresented communities. Welcome.
For having us.
Yes, another fantastic bio and just 2 incredible women that I get to talk to today. So thank you so much for being here. We'll get right into our questions because I'm really excited to pitch these to you guys. You are both women in the business sphere, out there getting it all done. What was your journey like to get to the roles that you serve in today? Either one of you can start.
I think for me, as you mentioned in my bio, my career has been spent in workforce and economic development initiatives. But like a lot of women, I didn't have a singular linear path to get there. So I think looking back on it, I benefited from opportunities that maybe I didn't feel prepared for, but I leaned into those opportunities.
Yeah.
And also I think I benefited from mentors that believed in me and took a chance on me.
Yeah, that is so meaningful to have people that see what you're capable of.
Yes.
And lead you to greater things.
Push you to take those risks.
Yeah. And you don't know what you're capable of until you try it, right?
Exactly.
I love that. What about you?
To me, it was an opportunity that presented itself at a moment that it was not a perfect moment. I never knew that I would take this type of position or this path or do this work at all. Like, you don't think about in the chamber, you don't think about the Chamber of Commerce as a career path.
Right.
So I was in hospitality, as you mentioned, and I've worked at that point almost like 10 years in hospitality, and then the pandemic happened. And so as people stopped traveling, they stopped going to hotels, the hotels started closing, so I was laid off. So after a year of being with no work, a friend said, "Hey, Marcela, are you open for a sales position at the Indie Chamber?" I'm like, "Sure, never done sales, but why not?"
Yeah.
So to me, it was an opportunity, and the fact that I wanted to try something new. And so as I got to know more about the mission, the impact of the work, to me was very important to learn more about this job, this career. And so I took on the opportunity, and I really enjoyed what we do.
Yeah.
I really saw that it was positive benefit that I was bilingual and I was able to connect with the community.
Yeah.
To be able to be that point of connection for them to get more resources, learning opportunities, networks, so they can take advantage of what the chamber offer.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And have you both found that, like you mentioned, you went into this from hospitality into sales, which on the surface don't seem like they have a lot of crossover, but I think there's a lot of interdisciplinary things that you can find across the board, like those people skills, being able to bring people together. Those are both integral to those fields. Like, do you find that no matter where your expertise goes, there are these common threads?
Yes. Yeah. As you said, I think people skills, being able to connect with people.
Yeah.
I said we are business coaches, but it's not very technical per se. What we do best, from my point of view, is connecting with people and connecting them to the resources and the work that the chamber does.
Yeah.
So people skills, I think in any industry, that's like a good baseline.
Yeah, agreed. How have you both observed these peer relationships being built to expand businesses and collaborate within your organizations?
Yeah, I think people are being more intentional about how they're building their businesses and how they're building those business relationships.
Yeah.
We all know that women historically didn't have access to the same networks and the same resources and capital that some of the men had in the business world. And so I think women are being more intentional about seeking out those opportunities, building their networks, creating opportunities for others.
Yeah.
Similar to what you do at Moore.
Yeah.
To help build those networks.
Yeah, absolutely. To your point, I mean, it's only been in the past 50 years that women have really been able to fully own their own financials even. And we, in a sense, have, that setback of just time and roots in the business community. So we have to work that much harder to make those connections and to really gain a foothold. But if we're helping each other, it's going to make it that much easier, right?
Yeah, I think in the past there's just been a pressure to kind of feel like you have to figure it all out on your own, or at least give the appearance of having it figured out on your own.
Yeah.
And I think now we're seeing people be a little more authentic with the challenges of running your own business and also their own successes and being able to celebrate those successes.
Yeah, that's awesome. Something we had talked about, we talk about it a lot on the podcast, really, is celebrating the little wins, right? You don't think about it until you bring it all together. And then all of a sudden somebody is reading your bio and you're like, wow, I have actually accomplished a lot.
I was thinking when she read ours, I was like, we sound important.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
So I think it's a shame a little bit that, you know, it takes those moments to be like, oh, I've actually done so much. It's so important to have those touchstones of how far that you have come, how much you have accomplished. So celebrating every win is so important. I don't think we take enough time to celebrate all the amazing things that we do for ourselves, for each other, for our communities. Yeah.
Yeah, and to sit in your own accomplishments. I think a lot of times we deflect that. It's a group thing, it's a team effort, but it's okay to just say, no, that was me.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah.
And I think for us, well, in the Hispanic community, there is big about the way that you're raised, right? Like, you have to be humble. It's like, don't talk too much about yourself. But, you know, growing and, you know, connecting with other women from a diverse background, then you learn like, hey, yes, you can talk about yourself. You can ask for help.
Yeah.
You can ask for advice and just invite someone for coffee. And I think that's something good that the community here in Indianapolis does.
Yeah.
It's like, if you need to talk to someone about something, you ask them for coffee. Most times they're going to say yes.
Yeah.
And so I think we need to take advantage of that.
Absolutely. And just continue to build that network. Yeah. It's so powerful. Beyond these direct client services like coaching, funding, what are some key ways that the Hispanic Business Council and the CIWBC influence this systemic change, or they're operating as conduits for these broader resources or policy advocacy to support these marginalized business communities that you're both working with?
That's a good question. Go ahead.
I was going to say, that's all you. I think we do have an advocacy team at the Indy Chamber. So they work on behalf of the business community at the State House on a variety of different issues.
Yeah.
And I think the Hispanic Business Council and the Central Indiana Women's Business Center, I know that's a mouthful, I think work to support women and minority entrepreneurs with a variety of resources, as you mentioned, but also advocacy opportunities.
Yeah. I think it's amazing that you have your own specific advocacy portion of it. I think that's really important because everyone can work towards it, but to have people who like that's their sole focus, they're going to get that much farther.
And I think something great that is done in the past year is that, because we all have different councils and committees and the board and people that help advise the team that do the advocacy work. But last year they did a survey. So they make sure that they listen to the people, like the small business owners, everyone that is, that have something to say that may influence the advocacy team to go for or against an issue.
Yeah, having that feedback is huge.
Yes.
I mean, how can you really know what to work for your community unless your community tells you?
Exactly.
Yeah, I love that.
I think also just at the Indy Chamber that we have a business service division, and so even that we have the Hispanic Business Council or the Black Enterprise Council or the Women's Business Center, we believe that a thriving community is when all businesses are represented and heard. So having those dedicated services for women and minority entrepreneurs helps get them in the rooms and get them access to the same critical tools.
Yeah, absolutely. Can you each share a success story from your centers, your work that exemplifies this direct support leading to a significant measurable impact for a business owner?
We have a lot. I think, we are a certified small business micro lender through the Small Business Administration and also a CDFI, a Community Development Financial Institution. So we work to provide capital for entrepreneurs that's often critical to helping their businesses grow and thrive. We have a lot of examples of that. And then also the Women's Business Center, we have the Jacqueline Troy Inspired Fund.
Yeah.
And so that is a fund in honor of our former director. And each year we make 2 awards to a local women entrepreneur. They receive a monetary prize, but also marketing support from the Indy Chamber, membership to the Indy Chamber. And so seeing our last 2 winners, Montanique Mitchell of Mitchell Electric and Tasha Clater of T Street Eats were our 2025 winners. Seeing how that award has impacted them and being able to access the networks and build those relationships, I think has been super beneficial.
Yeah. What a fantastic idea to not only give them some capital to get on their feet, but to also put them into a community that's going to help them continue their work. And, you know, if they experience hardships, they have somebody to go to, somebody to ask those questions. That's amazing.
We want to build a community of women supporting other women.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Yeah. Especially here at Moore. I love that. Yeah. What about you, Marcela? Do you want to speak to that?
So, yes, we have many examples, but I want to say just collectively, so we have some programs that we do in partnership with IU, Kelly School of Business. And so we have a program that is Enclave, where we had 20 Hispanic businesses participate in that program. And they receive executive access to executive courses with the university, like in marketing, finance, strategy, and organizational leadership. And then they also receive coaching and the opportunity to participate in a pitch competition. Ooh. So we had 3 businesses that won $10,000.
Wow.
So that's access to capital. And then we wanted to measure revenue growth. And so our goal was to get them to $3 million in revenue, but they actually overpassed that to almost $6 million in revenue.
Wow, that's great.
So that was collective. Yeah. But it was amazing to see that those businesses needed a little bit more education in those areas that are important to the management and organization of a business,
right,
to be able to structure things better, to make an impact. And as a result, it's the revenue that they got.
Yeah. I think the most striking thing to me with these organizations and people that are lending their expertise is everyone has their own expertise, right? It's why you go into business. You have something that you are passionate about, that you're good at, that you want to share with other people. But there's always going to be areas of it that are not your expertise, that you have to learn as you go. And I think that's what's so amazing about these resources is that you can take your expertise and fill it out with everything that is available to you.
Yeah. And I just want to add, besides that, I think the connections that they build is so important. Like then you learn that after, because they participated in the same cohort, they are doing work together, they are referral partners, they are mentors, you know. It just creates such a good energy among them. And I think that's, you know, you cannot just put a number on that.
Right. There's this fantastic community where you go to one business, they'll refer to you to another one because they work together or they're friends or they do something similar. So they're like, hey, I can't fill this for you, but they can. Or, you know, you're in here having lunch with me, you know, do you want to go check out this other place because you have those connections? I mean, that's what community is for, right?
Yeah. It's a ripple effect.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that so much. What are some of the biggest gaps in resources or support for the Hispanic and women-owned business communities that require a larger community-wide or even policy-level approach to address? And are there ways for our listeners to educate themselves or get involved if this is something that they're passionate about?
I have to think about it. Give me a moment.
Big question.
I think access to capital is still always a little bit of a hurdle.
Yeah.
So with that comes financial literacy and preparing for access to capital and loan readiness. So I think that's an aspect. I think also from a women's standpoint is childcare continues to be a big issue when we talk about a systemic issue going on here in Indiana.
Yeah.
Childcare, access to childcare is really something that's affecting all of us, whether we have children or not, as we think about the business community and how we're responding to that.
Yeah. I see these other states like New York just recently voted for universal childcare. And I'm like, can we have some of that? That would be, it's a game changer, you know, to not have to pay exorbitant amounts of money just for your child to be watched while you work.
Right.
It makes a lot of sense, but it's still something we're striving for.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's better for the employers as well. I mean, it helps with retention. It helps with talent attraction.
Yeah.
When you have a family first policy like that.
Yeah. That way they can be there and not have one foot out the door because they're worried about their kid.
Right.
Absolutely.
I will say health insurance, even though it is, through the membership with the chamber, you can get a discount. It's still, I think health insurance in general is very expensive.
Yeah.
And so as you're a business, as you are building a business and you're focusing on employee attraction and retention, it's sometimes hard to compete with those large organizations that can offer a whole benefit package.
Yeah.
So I think there is a gap there. And then for the Hispanic community, of course, with those small businesses, people are just launching their business and they are not from here. The language barrier is still, something that is hard to overcome.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that we do our young people, our students, a disservice by not doing what other countries do, which is requiring language classes, not just, the high school Spanish classes that we all have to take, but really like making sure that we are all speaking at least another language, if not multiple.
Yeah. And one more thing that comes to mind is, for example, in certifications, and this might be a touchy topic, but certifications many times is you could be a legal resident, but you cannot get the certification. You have to be a citizen.
Yeah.
And so is a barrier, is a barrier of entry for many business owners that are not from here.
Yeah, absolutely. And, this is a country that was created for, those reasons so that people could come here and start new lives. And this country is built on the backs of immigrants. And, you think about like the impact that Ellis Island has on our history and all of the immigrants that came through and wanted to make better lives for themselves. And it's like, have we lost the plot a little bit? Have we forgotten what it was all about? Because can we circle back on that idea and those, those foundational ideas? But at least conversations about it are meaningful.
Yes. And I always tell my community that it's important that they prepare themselves so they can compete regardless of, whatever certification is. They need to be at the same level as others to be able to compete for opportunities. So taking advantage of all educational opportunities, and it may take them a lot of extra hours of hard work and dedication and education, but it's what it takes to succeed.
Yeah. I think there's something really, really meaningful about choosing to be a lifelong learner.
Exactly.
Yeah. And just knowing that we can't all possibly know everything, so we have to just try.
Right.
In what ways do you collaborate or see the potential to collaborate to leverage your respective direct services and these broader advocacy efforts for a greater collective impact on the economic landscape in Indianapolis and even beyond?
I mean, I think we both do a really good job of that. We build our own networks, and then we work really hard to collaborate with local universities and educational institutions. I know other women serving organizations, other Hispanic serving organizations. It really does take a collective effort. And as you said earlier, no one has all the right answers or all the right tools and resources. And so I think the best efforts come when we collaborate and when we have a shared kind of vision of what we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I love that. We're so much better together.
Yes.
Just like Stephanie said to me is we need to complement each other. I think something that maybe at times is not good is when there's multiple organizations trying to do same thing, same efforts. But something good, I like to highlight the Red Apoyo Indie, which is not an organization, but is the organizations that support the Hispanic business community. We came together and mapped the resources. So we know who helps best the businesses that are from ideation to 1 to 2 years in business.
Yeah.
And then which other organization has programs beyond that, or those that are more industry specific. So I think doing that in the community is important.
Yeah.
So you don't duplicate efforts and you create more ecosystem of collaboration.
Right. because you're doing, vastly different things across the business landscape. So I think it can feel like a daunting task to find out what's out there and the resources that are best for you. And if it's more condensed in a way, might be a good word for it. It's so much easier and more accessible.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that idea. You're giving me ideas. So I was like, maybe we should do that.
Right? I'll take that little tidbit. Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of why we continue to have these conversations on the podcast, because you just never know who's going to be listening and thinking, what a great idea. I should do that. I should take it for my own business or my own community or, even my family. Like, it's sharing these ideas is really, really meaningful. So, thank you again for being here. Looking ahead, what are your plans to continue this growth for Midwest businesses and the positive impacts that you and other women can leave on the business world?
I think for me, it's about focusing on creating those opportunities for others, by listening more and by holding space for diverse voices, and just ensuring that women have access to the same networks and resources and tools to help level the playing field.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, for me, continue education. There's so many things that are changing with technology, and it's not like I'm going to be an expert, but at least know what's available out there so we can support better the business community that we serve. And also continue collaborating with different organizations and people that want to see the best of the people in the city. Yeah.
To your point of things always changing, we were talking about, what I do for my day job previously. And I work for a company that relies on state government funding, and talk about something that's always going to continue to change. Yes. So it is really meaningful for people that are on the front lines, as it were, that are seeing these changes happening in real time. They're getting like direct communication about what those changes mean and how to implement them, to give those to the people that need to know how to make those changes, how to do the best work that they can with the resources that they've been provided, regardless of what those resources look like at any given time, but just how to make the best of their situation, I think is what you guys are doing. And again, looking ahead to the future, what are your plans to continue growth in business and the impacts that you're having, not only on, the women that you work with, but just in your own personal lives? Like, what are you hoping to accomplish? What's on your roadmap per se?
I think, like Marcela's mentioned, it's just about continual learning. I just completed my women's leadership program, and that gave me a lot of knowledge about how to put some of those tools into practice to be a better leader, to show up better.
Yeah.
Set better boundaries and clearer expectations.
Huge.
For things. So I'm still working on it. It's a learning curve.
Yeah.
But I think just to continually to strive to learn, to grow, to be able to help in whatever ways we can.
Yeah. We need good leaders. So it's...
Yeah. Amen, sister.
And to get to be one is exciting in its own right. But, the fact that you're even concerned about how to be a better one and continuing to reach and grow means that you already are a good leader. So, yeah. What about you?
Same as Stephanie, continue learning, be a better leader. But I think before, my main focus was on how can I be the best, leader in the job that I am doing right now.
Yeah.
But I think there was not much of a focus on a personal, like inward look, like what does Marcela need as a person, as a mom, as a leader. So after going through some of this leadership trainings, there's a lot of, okay, how about you? And so I think that's important for women, because sometimes we get distracted with the family, the kids, the pets, the job, and we try to be perfect.
Right.
Sometimes, and it's not, I don't think it's fair.
Yeah.
And so we need to take a moment to be more personal, to do the things that we want to do that fill our cup. And I don't know, I think it's continuous learning, personally and professionally.
Yeah. I think we can focus a lot on our titles. Like you said,
Yes.
Leader, mom, family member, whatever your job title might be. But like at the end of the day, you're you. How do you take care of you so that you can continue to show up in those roles?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have to say that Stephanie and I started around the same time in our position. So having someone in the workplace that you trust, that you can talk, that you can vent, is such an important thing. So I'm like, women, we need to find other women close to us that, we can understand each other, have tough conversations, and continue.
Yeah,
I think and learn from. I mean, I just learned something while I was sitting here with her. So I always look to her for what is she doing and how is she leading and how is she showing up for people. Yeah. And I think also, as she said, we can have the tough conversations. I trust her to call me on something if she feels like she needs to call me on it.
Right.
And I value that feedback.
Sometimes I'm like, Stephanie, are you available? I need to vent.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta just like talk your crap a little bit.
Yes.
But also it is so meaningful to have somebody that will tell you, like, maybe consider a different path, and just being able to see you and value you and know what you need.
And to trust that, her heart is in the right place. What she's trying to accomplish with the Hispanic community is the same thing that I'm trying to accomplish with women entrepreneurs. And so knowing that we have that same united goal of what we're trying to get accomplished is really important to build trust on the team and just work so closely together.
Yeah. That is awesome. Well, thank you both so much for joining me today to talk about women in business, about the legacy that you guys are creating, not only in the Indianapolis community, but beyond. The work that you are doing is invaluable, and you continue to set seats at the table for other women to do amazing work, and for your communities. It's incredibly meaningful. I don't think, even in reading your bio, your influence goes so far beyond that. So I hope that, this is a good reminder of that and everything that you're doing that is so meaningful. And just being here with us, like being part of the Moore family, is amazing. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being on the podcast.
Thanks for having us. Thanks for having this as an opportunity for folks.
Yeah. It's very near and dear to our hearts to get to do this and allow people to share their stories. So thank you guys so much for listening. We will see you next week for another amazing episode. Make sure to check out our Patreon, our masterclass series. If you are a business leader or someone who wants to be a forever student, we are continuing to share resources over there as well. And make sure to check out moremagazine.org if you want to read some of our past pieces, check out what we're up to, see some of the work that our interns are doing, or to pick up an old issue. Our shop is also always open on moremagazine.org. So we will see you next time for another great episode. Bye, guys.